Welcome to Juice United Show. I'm Manchester United have won it 3-1 comfortably in the end, but it was very touch and go. Manchester United were playing some dire football, getting ready to get beat. It was only for Eric Ten Hag to make that change that I've been waiting for, that I was hoping we would make. Anthony comes on, creates a bit of space, plays the ball into Sancho, and we finally get our first piece of decisive play in the second half, and we nearly score. And it's a red card, and it's a second red card, and it's a third red card, and United booked their place in the semi-finals. Garth, how did you read that?
Let me ask you first, Nate. Have you ever been involved in something like this, like on the Fulham side of it? You're winning against a superior team, and then cut your play. Like even just one does something really stupid, gets sent off, and then you lose the game. Have you been involved in something like that before?
I can't recall anything of the sort, to be fair. To be in that good a position and then to blow it all away is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous from Mitrovic. Him of all players, of everyone, all the red cards, his was the worst because he didn't need to be sent off and they could have still had a chance. But look, thank you. Thank you. Because we were
do the rest of the pros there, are they giving him a bit of a sideline now? Like, mate, what have you done here? Like, what? You're out for 4 games now as well. Like, not that he's a prior and he's their best player, but does he know when they come back into the dressing room that he's done wrong? You know what I mean? They're not that they're against him per se, but like,
he'll know he's done wrong. He'll say sorry to the lads, and the lads obviously may say something, but say, listen. But at the end of the day, it wasn't like it was 1-1. They were gonna be a man sent off anyway. There was an uphill battle anyway. Manager gets sent off, so now no one can really say too much, can they? That's the
of course, you know, the gaffer can't say nothing.
No, you do keep your head. It's like, what are you talking about? You keep your head. So yeah, one of them ones, isn't it?
Madness, mate, madness.
It's just a moment.
Real man, I can't believe it for him. Especially after I was just saying, like, I really respect him as a player. I like him. You don't like. I know that, like, it'll be like, oh, he's Serbian. He's like, there. No, you just can't. You can't touch the referee. I'm from rugby, mate. You're getting an 8-year ban for doing that. It's madness, mate. But onto the game, we were poor, Nate. I thought. I don't know about yourself, mate. I thought we were very poor. Like, yeah, we scored a few goals in the end because they had 9 men on the pitch. But before that sending off, mate, we done nothing all game apart from the one thing you're talking about, getting it through to Sancho. And
I'm telling you, mate,
poor performance.
Yeah, I was thinking this is Man United of old. Like
2 years ago,
Man United of old, with no midfielder to control the game. No one I was looking at it going, what can we do? I was thinking we need to get another man up front that can move, like that can go in behind. Veghorst, for all his hold-up play, which was good today, his link up with Sancho, his linking off with players, fine. But we're not looking dangerous with him up there. So it was great the fact that he brought Anthony on, made us have pace on both sides as well as up front. And then he brought Bruno back a bit and took off McTominay. It was a good decision to make from Ten Hag because it's exactly what I was screaming for. And that's what we got. So I was happy with that. And look, it was a game. It was really bad until we got the goal. And then we knew 9 men we're not going to lose. And I said, I expect us to win 4-1, you know?
Yeah.
From there. But look, 3-1's good enough. It'll do the job. Well done.
But no, exactly right what you're saying, Nathan. I was having flashbacks to the end of Solskjaer, start of Rangnick era with the performance I saw today, man. Just dead. Nothing going forward. You know. I felt a bit sorry for Maguire. The fans are booing him for not playing 45 to 60-yard long balls over the top. That ain't his game. Like, you've got to give him options. You can't just expect Maguire to pull out 60-yard balls for you and stuff. He isn't Varane. No movement up front. I thought Rashford was very quiet. Sancho. Sancho, I wasn't against as much as a lot of people I've seen online. A lot of people saying he had a really bad game. It weren't horrific for me.
No,
it
wasn't
quiet
horrific.
again.
Yeah, and then once they went down, he went on the left. Yeah. He looked good, and look at that. Look how he sprinted forward to get that chance to score.
Yeah,
like that was him. That's him getting the ball, faking, and then faking the guy to slide, and then hitting it on target. Someone else would have just gone past the keeper and tried to hit it straight away, and it would have been blocked by a proper block. So I like the way he's calm in them situations, and he knows that the player's going to come, and he just stops, fakes it, and goes, right, now I can score. Well, let me shake myself up. I got open goal, back, handball, bang, lovely. So I think he redeemed himself. I did think he was very quiet, but I didn't think it was his fault. I think, like I say, He's definitely a player who needs runners around him to pop off and get it back to and run and make moves. And again, he is making loads of runs that people don't pass to him. Like, he makes them direct runs because we're not used to playing direct football like Dortmund were. He doesn't get the ball. And that's where he thrived. Like, you see the amount of direct runs he makes, and he keeps going, but we're not going to play that ball. So, yeah, it's one of them things. Again, like I said, Shinichi Kagawa had it happen to him when he came. It also happened to
Mkhitaryan as well. Yeah, I was going to say Henrik Mkhitaryan, same thing. Yeah, exactly the same thing, mate.
He might be the same. Same thing might happen to him unless we start playing to his strengths. And I think, like I said before, you become a better player. You become more of yourself when people play to your strength. So when Martial's in this side, he will be more himself. When imagine Anthony on the right, him on the left, and Rashford up front, or Martial up front, and then he comes on. It doesn't matter where he comes on. You can drop Bruno back and put Sancho in the hole. Now there's fluidity everywhere. Then no matter who's got the ball, we're all happy. One day it could be Rashford on fire. Next day it could be Anthony. Next day Martial. Next day Sancho. We don't care. As long as that ball gets popped around by all of them, and then the goal happens, we're like, oh, Sancho's playing amazing. When it's just part of something that happened to come to a goal in the end. So that's just the way it happens, man. I think that once we have them kind of players in and around him, he'll be even better. And we'll start seeing more of him. Because their last 20 minutes, I like what I saw. I want to see more of that. So yeah. But talk to me about Fulham though, because Fulham came. They were outstanding, weren't they? They came to rock us, and they rocked us. It's that simple. How often did they put the balls in the box, Garth? Every time, quality. And
quality as well, yeah.
Mitrovic, how high did he jump to get some of these headers?
The De Gea save one, mate. He looked like a salmon off the Barbie, mate. It was a joke how high he got. Fulham, listen, great team. If I was the Man United scouting department, I'd be all over that Polina, all over him as a £40 million signing, as an extra, not as a first team player, but as an extra in that team. He isn't Casemiro. He does a different job. He's an out and out anchor man. But you can build around that 100%. Everyone on that team worked their absolute socks off. Like they were, until they got to their man sent off, we weren't in the game at all. They completely controlled us. They controlled every minute of the play pretty much. They had us pegged back so much all game. They really knew how to come at us 100%. You know what I mean? And when we've got this is the thing I think people will forget I forget what Varane brings, which are these long balls over the top that he can do that Maguire can't. You don't forget what Casemiro brings, but you do forget like what Eriksen brings. With all of them out, there's no control in that centre. All you've got is Martinez. That's it. There's no control, and Fulham exploited that to the absolute maximum. Absolute maximum.
And you know what? What it is Martinez, he knows how to control the flow of the game. But when Maguire does it, it's not to control the flow of the game. It does look like he's just slowing everything down, and then he just makes a standard pass, and that's what kills it. But when you see Martinez, it's like he's opening up, and then you can't even see it because the screen isn't on wide. And then all of a sudden, he's played the ball into Rashford down the line, or he's played the ball right into the corner towards the left winger or the fullback. His balls are tremendous, and they're always on point, most of them. But that's the difference between Maguire. It's the urgency to do stuff on the ball. Get it moving then. Just pop it. Get it back. Move it to the other side. Let him slow it down and dictate the game because that's what he knows. He knows how to make that work to our favor. And I think Maguire doesn't really have that. He did okay today. He didn't do bad.
Decent game.
Yeah, but he did make a stupid mistake by obviously going in too tight with Mitrovic early on, getting rolled and then trying to hang on to him. That was a bit funny. But look, he had an okay game overall. It's just that I'm fed up with seeing players slipping all over the place. To be fair,
I was about to ask you about this, Dave. Like, what's going on with that? Why is that happening? Like, I always knew that if the pitch was like muddy, you'd bang on your big studs. If you could get away with it, you'd bang on your blades, which is what I used to play back in the day. What's happening? Why is everyone just on their arse all the time, mate?
I noticed back in the day, obviously, when I went to the Prem, most players were wearing molds because the pitches are in very good condition. And I don't think they cared whether they slipped much. But for me, I realized what it makes a difference. It makes you lose 10% of you because you're running past the ball and you can't stop and turn around. You're on the floor when someone else could be standing up and winning the ball. Of course, if you're on the floor or if you're slipping and you got to take an extra second to turn around, that's losing you time where you can just make a sharp turn and shoot. What I say, like the rule, like I've said before, if it can take a stud, you have to wear a stud. If it can't take a stud and you're feeling the studs through your boots, that's when you can take them off and put
2 pairs of socks.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, no,
it don't work. It don't work. You know when it's too hard. It's like your foot's like, it's not good. It's not like sinking in. It feels like, this ain't good. That's when you wear molds and you enjoy it because it's the best feeling ever. When you wear boot studs, it's not the nicest feeling. So people don't want to feel like that. They want to feel all nice and light. But then,
that's literally what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So man, too many of the players right now are losing opportunity to do better. Sorry.
And the reverse of that as well, Nate, which is what I'd say. And this isn't thing out quite happened to Martinez as well, but they broke down the right. Martinez slips, their winger gets through. Maguire's having to turn, he slips. If that cross comes in, Fulham had 2 men unmarked in the 6-yard box, bro. It's a goal. It's a goal. So, weird that everyone keeps slipping, man.
It's just a nightmare. But look, hopefully we'll fix up. But you know what? I don't know how you felt, but as the game was going on, we're 1-0 down. I'm there going, you ain't winning this game. and we're gonna just slide away the season now. We ain't gonna do nothing. Like if we're gonna play like this without Casemiro, this is what's gonna probably happen the rest of the time. Like, how are we gonna come good? And we can't. And you know, one thing that keeps going in my mind is my son's coach. He said it's not sustainable. The way Man United have been winning this season is not sustainable. It's not possible to continue winning with just Rashford scoring more all the time, and then you coming out of games just like getting the odd win somehow. And then the next game, you just got the win. The next game, you got the win. And it's like, you know, the games against Leeds at home, game against Leicester, where they have the majority of the play. They should win, or they should have scored 2 or 3, which means you normally win. But then they didn't. So he's like, this isn't, even when you look at all the stats, it's not sustainable. And I was like,
no.
Really? And it made me think. It made me think so much. And I was like, maybe he's got a point. And then we lost 7-0 to Liverpool. That was the game because he's a Liverpool supporter. But he's like, you lot won't come that high next season. I said, but Ten Hag will bring in more players, and then we will. So I don't agree with that. But if he says we were the same team, maybe. But look, I think we've done really well. We don't have enough yet to challenge for titles, but we do have enough to get to a final and play
100%
City in the final. I just hope we don't.
With your son's coach, mate, I agree with him entirely. What he said to start with, it isn't sustainable the way we're playing. But there's no way that next season we're not a better team. I'm sorry, like we'll have another 200 million in the transfer market.
Maybe 500.
If that ain't the Qataris, mate, coming in, you know what I'm saying? We'll have the money to spend. Ten Hag's transfers have all been pretty on point. Me and you have both got our issues with Anthony, but he does a job in the team. He's a role in the team. Lisandro Martinez, outstanding signing. Sabitzer, outstanding signing on loan, I think. I'm forgetting who else we signed. Malacia, great signing as well. Veg Voothurst, we'll talk about that another day. Yeah, but even he's doing bits here and there for Man.
He did all right today. Hold up, players.
Next season, I got no but hope. But your initial point, Nate, I had exactly the same thought when I was watching it. It's like, oh God, this is us for the rest of the season now. Yeah. This is us for the rest of the season. We're tired. We're lethargic. We don't have the squad depth to continue this on all 3 fronts. We just haven't got it. And then
no options.
Yeah, there's nothing on the bench. That's what I mean. We're down to bare bones pretty much. It sounds weird, but as much as I admire and respect Palestri and Garnacho, they are not starters week in, week out starters. They're too young for it. Garnacho maybe, but Palestri's
I think Garnacho is doing just enough to say, you know what, I'm happy if he comes on and does it.
Yeah.
Palestri is a bit of a different one where you think, right, let's give him some games and let's see how he does. But it's not that. We're not in that position yet. No. Where you go, we need to depend on you to go out there and get results for us straight away. And you can't really expect that from him straight at this point in time. But funny enough, as you say, Anthony seems to be playing, well, in this little bit I just seen, he seems to be playing in a way where he's actually adjusting to his strengths. He's not running with the ball too much. He's like skipping away from people, passing the ball, and he's getting in behind now and getting onto balls once he's getting in behind people. He's getting into the angles where he can get shots off. He's more inside the pitch a lot now. In this last 20 minutes when they went down to 9, it is 9, so it's a bit different. But I was saying we need him on today. because we need that
Yes,
width,
no,
we
you're
need
right.
that extra bit of pace. We need that that ability to attack from both sides. And it made a difference. He did make the difference today. If he didn't come on, that is not a penalty. There is no red cards, and we don't win. Simple. It's that clear for me. If he doesn't come on, we don't win this game.
Like I said, I've been saying he's been improving week in and week out. But I will not to give him all of his flowers. I will say this: do you remember that Williams shot where he just took it and just bent it around his head and made a save? I now sort of see what you mean about Anthony's left foot. I still don't think it's a 6, Nath, but I see what you're saying. It's not a wand, because William literally didn't even look. He just put that where it needed to be. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Anthony, listen, he has a lovely half volley. He's getting better week in, week out. I think we've all come to realise he is not the player we thought we were getting. You know, we all got hype about it. We all thought he was going to be some old school Man United winger, just bombing down the line, taking on 2 men, crossing. He ain't that. He's a technical player. And I don't know if it was you or saying to in the group, I think this is, it might be Hakeem, he works better than Sancho in this system on the right. 100%.
Yeah, he does.
Right.
At this moment in time, with the players we've got playing right now, he definitely does. And I think he will do at the moment. Let's see. Let's see how it pans out.
Sancho's still magnificent.
Yeah.
In my mind, I left Rashford up top.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dave. Sorry,
Sorry, go on. What are you saying?
I was going to say, in my mind, I'd just have Rashford up top, Sancho on the left, and Anthony on the right if I could. But anyway,
problem is, you don't have no options up to come on and change the game then. No,
you've got nothing after that. Palestri and Garnacho, if they're...
Garnacho's injured. So now it's just Palestri.
Yeah,
but look, let's get into the ratings, because it is we did win. We are happy we're through. We're through to the semis. We've got Brighton, who are no pushovers. Very tough game. Fulham actually beat Brighton, but look, and it's not at home this time, is it? It's away. No, it's Wembley. At Wembley. Sorry.
Yeah,
so Wembley, it's gonna be a tough game. Very tough game. I think Anthony will definitely start in that one. But look, let's go to the player ratings. And this time, I'm gonna put mine up as you say yours. Mine's already written. Mine's already written, so it's very easy for me to be able to throw it up. So I'm gonna go with David De Gea, 1, 2, 3, bang.
8. I'm going 8, mate. I knew you. I had a feeling you go to. I'm going 8. 2 outstanding saves that kept us in the game, mate, and that's why I'm giving him an extra point. In fact, he's my man of the match today. He actually is my man of the match. 2, mate, that one from Mitrovic, that is a literal game-saving save. That header was in the top corner, and the one down low. It's a high 7, 8, a little big maybe, but I am man of the match for me and an 8. David De Gea kept us in this game.
To be fair, look, that was a great save, and to be fair, none of our team really played great football, did they? No. It wasn't really like, this is amazing stuff. It was poor. It was, to be fair, it was poor. It was poor.
I was about to say,
go on.
Yeah, sorry, no. I was going to say, my ratings, mate, they reflect the first 70 minutes of this game, not when we started playing well when they were down to 9 men. Like, a lot of it is going to be based on that. So I'm not going to get too... They're not getting too many extra points because we beat 9 men, if that makes sense, Nath. You know what I mean? When we played so badly for the first 60 minutes.
So are you really trying to come with the fact that you're not actually including them last minutes, or what are you saying to me?
No, they are, but they don't make up for the first 65 is what I'm saying. Like, you don't get... Like, if I was giving you it was not, but I was going to give Sancho a 5. He gets maybe an extra point because he played well in that final bit. But I'm not... A 3-1 win, I'm usually giving people 7s and 8s all the way down the board, but we were so poor until they got sent off. Is more what I mean. You know what I mean? I've got to take that into account as I'm giving out my ratings, mate. So. Okay,
well, I've given him a 7. Let's go with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I'll put it up as you say it.
It's a 6 for me for AWB, straight 6, and I've got a feeling, Nath, that we're going to be hearing that number a lot through these meetings from us. Quiet game. It's not like he played badly, really. This is the thing. This is what I mean about it being like last year, Nate. This is what we kept saying. It's not like we played badly. We just didn't do anything. And Aaron Wan-Bissaka was one of them. Again, got much better. He was basically playing centre forward when they had 2 men sent off. Did you see that? He was like dead centre in the penalty. He was after a goal, Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
He's in positions quite often now, you know.
Yeah. For me, he is just by a hair our best right back. He's our number 1 right back in this team. I trust him more than Dalot. Still got them great legs. You see that touch he took as well. That leg extended like a stretched Armstrong, mate. Like
he's ridiculous. When it comes to that stuff, he's ridiculous. And again, it was just that he had a kind of quiet game. Didn't really do anything wrong. Didn't do anything really good. So that's why I gave him a 6. I was thinking, what did I give you? Yeah, you're a 6. Yeah. Maguire, 1, 2, 3, bang.
6 for me for Maguire as well. Straight 6, mate. Yeah. Listen, some people think that whenever I talk about Maguire that I'm just digging him out. I'm not. I don't like. It's just that he's not good enough at this level. This is the best we can expect from him. And even in this game, he was on his backside 3 times, slipping over, slow, but solid performance for him in the end. You know what I mean? So,
he did okay. Yeah. He did all right. He did his job, what he needed to do. And in this kind of game, we should be able to rely on him. If he can't play in this kind of game, he can't play in any kind of game. So, to be fair, he got a 6 because that's what he is, isn't it? That's really what he was. Yeah. Martinez, what do you give Martinez?
It's a 6 as well, Nathan. But this is what I mean. It's a weirdly different 6.
I gave him a 7.
It could be a low 7 for me just because I've given Maguire a 6. Like, he was better, but again, quiet game from him, Nathan. We didn't see a lot of that.
It was a quiet game.
Didn't see any defense splitting passes from him. Like, really, you know what I mean? So, but is that because he had no options?
Yeah, I saw a couple that I liked. I saw the fact that he was stretched because he's not with Varane anymore today. But I still felt like he was a general, winning challenges, playing a few balls. He played that nice, lovely ball into Rashford path. He played some balls out to Sancho and out to Shaw. He did get, and he got a couple wrong as well. And he did get, I thought he got fouled in the game earlier as well. He got his feet tangled with the player, and that's why he fell over early in the game. I didn't think that the player done him or anything. And I just felt like he's understood how to play with Maguire now. If you get, I mean, that first game of the season and second, he was struggling. He didn't know how to handle and what he was to expect. But now he knows exactly how to play with him and what to do. He's adjusted to knowing what to do, where he can really go for it, where he can't. Remember when he got 1-on-1 and he just went straight in and won the ball early in that first half as well? He knew what to do. And he led by example, but he still wasn't one of his better games. That's why I gave him that. I couldn't give him the same as Maguire. That's why I gave him a 7.
That's fair. There was that challenge. Did you see him challenge up that line up that challenge with Geezy coming down the wing? He looked at that and he was like, "You've got 3 seconds, mate, and I'm about to." Oh, you're done, fella. You're absolutely done.
yeah. McTominay.
Oh, quiet game. Do you know what? I was going to give him a 6, but it's a 5 for me, Nathan McTominay. It is a 5. Very quiet game. I was going to give him a 5. You're right. I was going to give him a 5. The reason why I was going to give him a 5 was because I felt like he was really quiet and didn't do anything. But then I thought, wait a minute. There's other players who were quiet, didn't do anything. But we weren't really on McTominay's back today. So that's why I couldn't give him a lower result than a Maguire. I thought they were in and around the similar levels. Him, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire. I think they were around them similar levels where they were playing even below that par level. And that's why I don't think Martinez was in that same boat of below par like that. So that's why I gave him a 6. Still can't get his 5-yard ball sorted either, McTominay. Done all right, done a good bit of tackles and everything, but it's the McTominay, he took a ball past 2 people in the centre midfield. It's like, go on, son. He had a 5-yard pass to play, messes it up, and you're like, mate. Like, this is what I'm going to remember now. I'm not going to remember anything good you do unless you score or something, mate. I'm going to remember that you couldn't get. But yeah, quiet game. I think McTominay's another one like Maguire that we won't see here next season. I really believe that.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Yeah, I think
players in. I understand. Yeah, because that.
Oh yeah, if we get replacements, But I think you can tell which players he knows he's keeping, and they're the ones who get played a lot. McTominay, Maguire, they don't. You know what I'm saying?
I think you're right with that, because look, if you get in a player to come in and be the first team player, then the players we have this season will be the second players to come in. That will be tremendous, and then they will be the ones who move on. So I get you. Sabitzer.
Yeah, it's a 7 for me for Sabitzer, 100%. If it wasn't De Gea, I was giving him. I thought he was the best one on the pitch, mate, of the outfield players. But again, as much as I like this fella, he is a limited baller. There's no two ways about it. He is an old school centre mid. He can pass and he can move. And he can shoot. All great attributes, but none of them are like top level. Do you know where I'm going from?
Yeah, he's all good attributes. Yeah.
All round player. I still want him in the summer, 100% as a great little back option. I agree with the King. Did you see his post-match interview? The most deadpan thing. The most deadpan thing I've ever. That was so Austrian. I think he's Austrian.
Of course. We win the game. Yeah. We got them next. We win. Yeah. To be fair, it was weird because he was slightly better than McTominay. Maybe I should have given McTominay the 5 because Sabitzer was slightly better than him, and he got his goal. And he had a few shots as well. I felt he did do slightly better. But if you look at it on the spectrum of sixes, he'd be a high 6 and thing would be a low 6.
6'9". Yeah, I know you're saying, mate. 100%.
Might have to do some 0.5 soon.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to start getting the 0.5s out because there is a gulf of difference between the 6 of Gilman Maguire and the 6 of Gilman Martinez. You know what I mean? There is a gulf of difference there. So yeah, we might have to get some points out sooner or later.
I think you might have seen Bruno, but what are you giving Bruno?
I didn't see Bruno actually. Bruno, it's a difficult one as well because he really turned up in them last 25 minutes. Like, it was all over the place. Like, was driving the team forward, but was actually very quiet before then. So it's a 7 for me for Bruno, even though he scored 2 goals. There you go.
Yeah,
because most of his team was very quiet for the first 60 minutes, Nate. So I can't go too two goals in a 3-1 win. That's usually an 8. You know, I mean, that's usually an 8.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He was having a quiet one, but what it is when we realize what he's about, he's the outlet to create chances. So the times when he's not going to create, no problem. Keep going. Do it again. Do it again. Because if you're not there, we're going to miss it. You know, you have to be the one to. No one will be making runs if he's not on the pitch. Because look how hard it was to get it to the midfield today. Imagine when he got the ball, how hard it is to move it to the attackers if he's not playing. Madness. Scores 2, great penalty when pressure's on. I bet if Cristiano was there, he would have probably missed that because he would have been on too much pressure of Cristiano to score.
Do you know what it was, Nate? It wasn't just that. He just took it like a training ground penalty, just put it in the bottom corner. No mess, no fuss. I'm not trying to top bins it. I'm not trying to, whatever it's called down the middle, Rabona, that's the other, whatever it's called down the middle. No, I'm just doing a training ground penalty, bottom corner. Even if the goalkeeper goes the right way, I should have it far enough into the corner to score. So great penalty for him.
Yeah, he done well. Sancho.
It's a 6 for Sancho. It is a 6 for Sancho. I'm only giving Fernandes a 7. That's Luke Shaw, mate. I don't know what's happening.
Luke Shaw 7 anyway, so I'll throw that in for now. He got a 7 because of his overlap.
Did we not do Shaw? We didn't do Shaw, did we?
No, I've done him now.
7 for me as well, mate. Funny enough, mate. Just that he's so calm, so
goal as well. Yeah, he keeps doing the job, doesn't he? Defensively, done well. Didn't make any mistakes. Overlapped a couple times as well. Even when Sancho puts him in, and he gets a 7. So Sancho, you gave him a 6. I gave him a 7. I felt like he upped it in that last 15 minutes to be able to push to get a 7. He was on a 5/6 even, but then the minute Anthony comes on, remember that sprint for him to get there for that chance in the first place, and for him to do that stuff gets him up to a 6. And then he sets up Shaw to cross that ball in. And then he's also then running after them a few times, running at them and causing a bit of trouble. I'm like, you know what? You push yourself up to a 7. That's the Sancho I want to see for the whole 90 minutes. So that's why I gave him a 7. Maybe a 6, it would be fair. But yeah, I gave him a 7. I'll be a bit.
It's the same again, isn't it, Nate? 6.9, 7.1. It's in that bracket, isn't it?
Exactly.
You know, I agree with you entirely. Actually, I'm forgetting that he did really improve once. And again, because he was on his favourite left-hand side. Like, there's no two ways about it. Almost every time he plays on that right wing when he starts, he doesn't put in a great performance. So the Ten Hag's a master genius. I'm sure he's noticed it, and I'm sure he's looking into it. You know what I mean?
Well, I think he can do it. If Martial's with him, I've seen him be able to play there, and it looks so good. But when he's not, it looks like he's much better on the left. So I don't know. It's just the way it seems. Rashford. How did you see Rashford today?
Very quiet game, mate. It's a 6 again for Rashford for 100%. Especially if I'm now thinking about giving Sancho a 7, it has to be a 6. There you go. It has to be a 6 for Rashford. Listen, he can't just keep scoring every game. He done all right, but we gave him nothing. Just like, to be fair, just like Sancho as well. Sancho's doing more to like make him stand with himself, but Rashford ain't that man. He ain't that guy. He ain't got tricks up his sleeve. Yeah, he just hasn't. So if you're giving him absolutely nothing all game, what are you expecting? You could feed the goat, he'll score. You know what I mean? But if you're not feeding him, he's going to go hungry. So yeah,
exactly. Anthony comes on second half, and for me, he's a game changer. But nobody gets high scores. Nobody gets real high scores in this game. But Anthony, he was still one of the better players for United today. I'm going to go with it today. I don't know what you think, but I'm going with a 7. I believe he came on and made a difference for us. He made us a balanced attacking team that looked dangerous. Whether it was 11 men or 10 or 9, it was him that was on the move. Him on the right, Sancho making sprinting actions, and that's why we had that 2-on-1 situation, and we score from it, pretty much a penalty from it. So look, hats off to him because
I
haven't said that this season too much that we need Anthony on. We need Anthony on. But like I said, he does give us that balance. He does make everybody have to stay honest. And if you're Man United, other players will now be open. But remember, if you have Weghorst, you don't need to double team Weghorst. So then other players are getting double teamed. Now you get Anthony and Rashford and Sancho. The only way to keep them kind of players quiet is to double team them. So that's why we have the issue when Weghorst plays. But he done well, the manager, because I did think Weghorst is playing well. He's playing all right. I don't want to take him off, but we do need the pace up front. And I was like, maybe he should take off McTominay. Or will he take off Sabitzer? And then he takes off McTominay, and then it's like he moves Weghorst down a bit for the link-up play.
Moves Bruno down a bit,
Yeah,
perfect,
and it was lovely. It was a perfect move to have. I think we're going to see that next game. Bruno alongside like a McTominay or Sabitzer. And then you're going to see Weghorst in the hole, Rashford, Anthony, Sancho. I think that's going to be our strongest team. So then we've given McTominay his stripes, haven't we?
We ain't done Woot yet, mate. We ain't done Woot Weghorst.
Oh, sorry, Weghorst. What are you giving Weghorst?
It's a 6 for me for Weghorst. Like, honestly, mate, that like I made the joke about it. Like, I'm sure he's actually a centre back, mate. 6'6" centre back, because that finish again, like,
yeah, it's poor.
Even the left foot one. Shot. Yeah,
the left foot one, he cuts in, and he does
all the work.
I'm like, there's just far post written all over it. How are you passing it straight down the play at the keeper's throat? Like, what's going on? Make the keeper work, mate. Nah, mate, you can't keep doing that. Can't do
just
that.
1 mile per hour roll into the goalkeeper. Like, you're meant to be a striker, fella. I'm not hating on the man. What he does, I can see the off the ball work. I get it. I understand it. But I'm sorry. Most strikers in the Premier League do that sort of work these days. It isn't special that Weghorst is running around. Like, so
totally agree with you there. And even Curler says, shocking game. They were woeful and looked knackered, but the pen was a blessing, so we take it and move on. Exactly,
100%. 100%.
You know, we can't say anything more than that. That's exactly how the game is summed up. Fred comes on and does well. Okay, we did have 7, 8, 9 men, but look, he comes on and he's
gets the assist.
Yeah, just gets the ball moving and it's nice. So I'm happy with that. I'm not even going to go with anyone else. Mark Smith says, I think they looked exhausted. I just think we had the team wrong. I don't think we had anything that we didn't have enough in certain areas to be able to hurt them. And it shows. If you don't have runners going the other way, you got no options. Everyone coming to feet is not going to work. And football never works with everyone coming to feet.
No, and also, your players always look far more tired when they're not playing well. Notice the moment they were down to 9 men and we were playing well, no one looked tired on that pitch anymore. You know what I mean? Like, so I agree with you. I think for once, Ten Hag got his starting tactics a little bit off, but brought it back with the subs. So
you know what? I don't even know if that's off. I think that he's doing it for a reason. I think he knows his squad, and I think he knows that the game will go a certain way, and if it does, I've got this. Now, if I start with my team and it goes wrong, I haven't got anything. So I think that's where I think he's made a good decision there with the starting lineup that he has. That's great because Anthony was ill and he's thinking, I don't want to give him 90 minutes because he'll get, you're kind of pushing it if it was someone that's ill. And then, right, I want to start Weghorst because he deserves to play because blah, blah, blah. I want to start Sancho and give him more minutes to do his job. So if anything goes, I can do this. I can drop him down here. I can put Rashford up front. I can put Anthony on the right, Sancho on the left. And then we're going to get at him. And what's he do? Soon as they score, bam, straight on it. So he does the right thing. Curlis says, so the last bit on this, sorry, and you can say what you're saying. Anthony was a game changer, but until that, David De Gea with that save at 1-0, world class kept us in it.
Yeah, 100%, mate. 100% Curlis again. Sorry, I've completely lost my train of thought. I do apologize. What were we saying before?
I was just talking about Anthony doing a job, and I can't even remember even more.
Yeah, he's gone, mate. I do apologise, everyone.
Ten Hag, he knows what to do. Ten Hag knows what to do.
Ten Hag at the start. I know what you're saying, Nath. That's the point about it. I know what you're saying, but like Mike Tyson said, plans are great until someone punches you in the mouth, and that's what happened with this. Fulham punched us in the mouth, and we had no comeback until he made the changes. So yeah, I'm sure he had an idea about what was going to happen, but it didn't work on the day, if you know.
But it did. But this is the thing. It didn't work to start with.
Sent off.
No, but it didn't work to start with. But we got the goal back before 2 men sent off. before they come off, we get the penalty. So we're scoring that penalty, whether there's 11 men on the pitch or 10 or 9. So I think we came back into it, and I would have thought we would have went on to win.
Yeah, but the change with Anthony's been made by then, mate. Anthony's on the pitch.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We make the change. Yeah, but I'm not saying what I mean is his initial team setup. His initial team setup was wrong for this game. That's all I'm saying.
To win the game,
that's what I mean. That's all I'm saying. And then changed it and done what he does well. His on the field tactical sub. Oh, it made the changes again, Nate. I don't know what to say. It's a 7. It should be an 8. It's a 7. I'm giving him a 7. There you go. Yeah. There you go, mate. It's one of them. He made the exact right changes again. I'm not digging him out for the team he picked either. You know what I mean? It was pretty close to the team that I suggested that would play anyway. That's what he had. I'm just like, he keeps pulling it out of the bag. You know what I mean? He just keeps pulling these results out of the bag. Yes, they were down to 9 men. We got lucky, but you've still got to make the wins. You still got to get the goals. You still got to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
this man,
7 for me.
This man with limited resources continues to do the right things at the right times. We look like we're going to die. Last season, I'm sure, the way we were playing and the way we were looking like we were never going to come back. That's a game where I just sit there and I'm just quiet and I'm like, hurry up and finish. Hurry up. I ain't even watching this game. I even want to watch this game. And I don't even want to do the post match. I ain't even lose. It's over. We're flipping got to the quarterfinals and lost to bloody Fulham, whatever. And then we're here saying we've won 3-1. We've won 3-1. I don't care who got sent off. We got back in the game because of Ten Hag's movements off the bench. And that's it. We come off the bench. Anthony comes on. We change the game. He changes the game. And we look more fluid. And we get the goal back. And I think we would have went on to win it anyway. Would have been a tough, tight one. But I think we would have went on to win it. But we do. Now we booked ourselves in the next round. Semi-finals. Wembley, here we come. Brighton, get ready.
Tough game.
Coming for you. We're
coming for it. Listen, I was going to say is sorry.
I'm scared if we beat them. I'm scared.
Man City in the final. No, we're Man United, mate. We're doing City in the final. I don't care. My last point is for a team with the squad that we've got at the moment, doing the bits that we're doing, what we were like last year, this has been a great year of football for me, a season of football for me so far. Long way to continue.
Yeah.
Like we're building a habit of winning no matter what the situation on the pitch, and that's all that really matters in football. If you can build a habit of winning, the bottom line is we win the FA Cup this year. No one's going back in the history books and we're like, yeah, but quarter-final against Fulham, mate, you were 1-0 down, they had 9 men. Like, no, you've won the FA Cup. So, listen, habit of winning, fantastic. And that's Ten Hag again, breathing that in, the confidence into our boys.
Yeah, and you know what? Nobody would have, we'd be biting everyone's hand off to say we're in this position at this time in the season, where we are right now, we'd all be happy. So let's just enjoy the time, enjoy the moment, and let's enjoy Wembley whenever it is. And let's take it there. I'm happy. I'm happy with what we've got. Don't even know when the next game is. Don't know when I'll see you guys next. But yeah, I'm just going to enjoy the fact that we're winning all the time, even with a pretty bare bones teams right now.
Bare bones, mate. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like with the team we've got, it is bare bones. Like I'm sure there's some clubs out there, I don't know, like a York City. They're like, you're talking about bare bones. Look at it, like we're playing with Milkman and Farmers, mate. You've got but yeah, I think we are pretty slim pickings at the moment for our team. Next game,
Brentford. Is it Brentford?
No, mate. It's Newcastle away on Sunday, the 2nd of April. Oh, 4:30.
Well, we got a couple. Yeah, it's going to be tough. We got a couple more comments here. Good call, Duke. Eric Ten Hag is making sure he has options to change his team and tactics when he needs to. Curler says, don't count out United of the FA Cup. City will have Champions League and Premier League titles to sweat over also. Yeah, but they'll play their first team in the finals FA Cup. That's for sure. I'm sure they'll batter Sheffield United, innit? So that's
their second team's as good as our first team anyway. It's Man City.
We're going to be on our toes for that.
Oh, yeah. I'm just looking at this. Casemiro lost Newcastle away, definitely a big one. But then Brentford at home and Everton at home. You couldn't ask for 2 better games really at this stage for Casemiro to be missing from.
Let's hope we can win, man. Let's hope we can get the wins anyway. But that's all we got time for. It's 40 minutes into the 3-1. Yeah, match reaction. So thank you everyone for the comments. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Garth. Look, pleasure. This has been the match reaction on Duke's United show. Duke here, Garth there. We will see you guys next time. Peace out.